Hey everybody, it's Matt from the house, and in this video we're going to talk to you a little bit on how to size your wakeboard. Make sure we get the right size board under your feet to get you out behind the boat or in the cable park. Let's check this out. All right, so you're gonna grab yourself a wakeboard and get out and enjoy the summer a little bit. And obviously there's a lot of different sizes in wakeboards, and a lot of the boards come in different sizes. You wanna get the one that's right for you and for your size. So it's kind of like with snowboarding where you fit it for your weight and then you fit it for your height, but it's not as much with the height side of things. Wakeboarding is primarily all about the weight. If you are a little bit taller for your weight, yeah, you might want to go up a little bit just because you've got that higher center of gravity. But with a wakeboard, it's not as important as it is with a snowboard, just because with a snowboard, you have flex that you have to worry about. And these things do have a little bit of flex, but not as much as a snowboard. So it's more about floating a certain amount of weight. So if you kind of think about it, if you've got, let's say you got 200 pounds and you need to float it, something bigger with more surface area is going to float it much, much easier than something smaller. Makes sense. Likewise, you're also going to be getting pulled by the boat. So this is pulling you across the top of the water. So if you have a bigger board, you're not going to have to go as fast. Likewise, if you have a smaller board and you are bigger, you're going to have to go faster just to keep that weight up on top of the water. That's why barefooters can actually stay on top of the water. And if you've ever seen those videos, those guys are cooking across the water. They have to go super, super fast because they got nothing but their feet keeping them on top of the water. So this is the same thing with a wakeboard. You want to find that wakeboard that is the right size for your weight. Basically, it's going to keep you up on top of the water at that optimal boat speed for wakeboarding, so your wake is nice and big, but you don't feel uncomfortable like you're going crazy, crazy fast too. So it's definitely a very, very important thing to do. But again, we're only going to fit it for your weight. And you can check the charts. We've got them all at thehouse.com. Each page, each wakeboard has a little link that'll send you right to our wakeboard size charts to give you kind of an idea of, what size board you should be on for how much you weigh. Usually, around a 90 to 100, 150 pounds, somewhere in that range. Usually be looking in the low 130s. If you're around that 130 to 180, maybe you're going to be getting in that mid to upper 130 range. And if you're getting close to 200, you're going to be definitely in that upper 130, like 138, 139, into your 140 range as well. And then if you're over 200 pounds, definitely get yourself a board that's over 140 centimeters, just because you're going to want to have lots and lots of surface area to give you a lot of pop off the wake, a lot of stability, and make sure you don't have to go too crazy, crazy fast. Because if you're over 200 pounds like me, there's a lot more to hit the water. You don't want to take that. So water is soft, but only to a certain point. But again, find that board that fits that optimal, range for your weight. And each board is going to come in a certain size range. You're going to have, a 134, a 138, a 142, and some of them might not come in those exact sizes. Not every board comes in every single size, but just find that one that fits within your range, and you'll be good to go. Okay, another good thing to look at too is your riding style and where you're riding. Obviously wakeboarding was born behind the boat, but with the cable parks coming into play and jumping up all over the nation, cable riding is it's a pretty rad thing, and it's can make things a little bit more accessible for people that don't have a boat. But also there is a very specific style of wakeboarding that's cable riding, and you can ride a standard wakeboard behind a cable, but your cable specific boards are usually meant for hitting those jumps and those rails and all the boxes, all the hard features that they have set up at the park. And basically with these boards, they're usually going to be a little bit softer boards, and they're going to be longer too. So your average size for, a wakeboard is usually in that 135 to 139, 140 range. Although with the cable park boards, you're looking actually in the low 40s. And basically, if you are fitting yourself for a board for the cable park and you want a cable specific board, basically take that size that you usually get and you're going to bump that one up a little bit, just because these boards have a much softer flex to them. And also there's no wake to land on. So when you do come come down and you land on the water, you want more board to disperse that water. So you basically are going to want a bigger board in general. So again, if you're looking for a cable specific board, something for hitting the jumps and rails and stuff, take that standard sizing and just bump it up a little bit. All right, another big question we get too from a lot of people, and obviously families and people that are just got their first boat or they're just getting their first wakeboard, is can I have one board that fits the entire family? Yes and no, it depends on the family. Obviously, the wider range of weight ranges you have, the harder it can get. But you can get that one board that can fit everybody. Like we were saying at the beginning of the video, if you got bigger people on a smaller board, you can go a little bit faster with the boat. If you got smaller people on a bigger board, you can just go a little bit slower with the boat. But the more important thing actually when you're trying to fit a board for the entire family is right here, making sure you've got the right size boots. Obviously for those novice riders, we have bindings that are gonna be adjustable. They're not gonna fit super, super snug, but we do want them still to fit as snug as we can get them. And you wanna keep your rider's foot range within the range of the boots. So if you have, a boot that fits from an 8 to a 12, awesome. If you got kids with a foot smaller than an 8, you're gonna wanna get a second set of boots. And they're fairly easy to swap out. As long as you got a screwdriver, you can swap those things out right in the boat. But very, very important, like one of the most important things is actually to have boots that fit the sizes right. And usually within 2 boots, you can pretty much fit everybody. But one thing that I always like to say too when it comes to the board is when you look at your size of your riders, everybody's gonna be riding it from the littlest kid to the biggest person. We're basically gonna look at, I always say, look at who the biggest person is and try to get a board more fit to their riding style, just because that's going to make riding easier for them. And then when you're learning too for the little ones, it's going to give them more board to get up on and they're going to go a little bit slower with the boat, making them feel a little bit safer. So I always say err a little bit more towards the bigger side when it comes to one board for the entire family, as opposed to trying to get a small board for the little guys and then the big guys just trying to go extra, extra fast and having to struggle trying to get up behind the boat as well. All right, well, thanks for checking out our video on how to size your wakeboard. Hopefully that helped you out a little bit, help you make the right decision to get you into the right size board for you or the right size board for you and your family. If you've got any questions about anything that we've covered here, maybe something we didn't cover, leave us a comments down below. We're on there every single day. We want to make sure we answer your questions and not only get you into some rad gear, but we want to make sure that it fits you properly and it's going to help you and others that are going to be using it, progress and ride and learn quickly and safely. Make sure to like, subscribe, and definitely get that notification bell on too so you can find out when all the new videos drop. And yeah, whether you're getting a board for just yourself, you want that optimum size, you're getting a board for the whole family, you want something that can fit everybody well, get out and ride, because any day of riding is a good day of riding.